Hey guys, I have another awesome model for you here today. This is Danielle, and we're going to do a really kind of smoking hot makeover for you. Stay tuned. I'm going to use Mr. Matte by Givenchy. We're going to put that on the forehead, the tops of the cheeks, and areas where she may typically shine. You don't necessarily really need moisture on the center of your forehead, but you do need it on areas, let's just say, on either side. So you'll have a lot less work to do when you're trying to matte the skin down if you kind of just spot place things where they need to be. So the primer really just needs to go here, the nose, the chin, and I'd say even on the sides of the nose. And then we're going to get some moisturizer. So I'm going to use Embryoliss. And I love this moisturizer. It's a little bit of a heavier one, but it gives the skin a really pretty glow underneath the foundation. So I want that here. We want the cheeks to be really healthy looking. So I'm not priming the cheeks because we do want those to look flushed and full. I have the Bobbi Brown University palette, and I'm going to get 3 colors onto the skin. And what I have here is a dampened makeup sponge. I have warm natural, we have honey, and we have warm honey. So these 3 tones right here we're going to use on Danielle. So this is matching her skin tone, but it's a shade on the light side, and we're keeping that in these areas that we're going to eventually want to highlight anyway. So we're just going right down the center of the nose. Forehead. And now I have honey. And I'm just going to use the other side of the sponge, and we're going to start to build honey around the areas that we highlighted. I'm just pressing that into the skin. So now, working out of the exact same palette, I have here the Bobbi Brown, the Correctors. So for the Correctors here, we're using peach and dark peach, and I have those here on my palette, and we're going to start to kind of correct and conceal
my freckles.
No, we love freckles, and that's what we want to do. We want to get some of the areas under the eye. We're going to make those a little bit brighter. We're going to prime her eyelids. So I have here a little oil-free, this is a Pro Prime by NARS. One thing that I like to do with eye primers is use them only where you need them. So a lot of times if you use too much of a primer on this area of the lid, the texture of the eyeshadow can actually change and will almost feel dry. So what you're mainly concerned with the primer is the area that's going to crease. And the area that's going to crease is this right in here. So I like to just put the primer right in that area. Kind of like before, the way we kept the primer and the moisturizer on their own areas. Just like to get the primer where you need it. This is a MAC eyeshadow. This is called Rose Blanc. And I'm going to take that with a 224 brush. And I want to put Rose Blanc right onto the center of her eyelid. Now I have a palette here by YABY. This is actually a highlighter, bronzer, kind of golden gorgeous kind of palette. I don't really remember the name, but this color right in here, it's warm and it's going to create a really pretty contour without being too dramatic. So right around the edge of where we put the Rose Blanc,
first person that has never jabbed my eye and made me want to blink 50 million times. So gentle.
Good to know. Hire me. No. Now I have my Inglot palette, and I'm going to take the matte black, which is 454.
I'm gonna have smoky eyes.
You are gonna have smoky eyes. We're also gonna double up on the lashes, and you're gonna be.
Oh, I'm gonna take flight. Okay.
Kind of a big deal. You're gonna take flight. So I'm gonna press that into the outer corner. We do want to keep Danielle's eyes as big as possible, so we want to make sure that whatever we do is going to open them up and not close them off. So keeping the shading kind of to the outer corners, not really too heavy on the center of the lid, is really going to wake them up. And then when we put the lashes on, forget it. It's going to be like a whole nother level. One thing you may not know, or I'll just share with you, is that Danielle here is a hairstylist, and she is a Paul Mitchell national educator as well. I know a few of you who have made comments go to Paul Mitchell partner schools and things like that. So Danielle, you want to tell us a little bit about like what that's all about? Like what exactly does that mean that you're a national educator?
Well, as a national educator, I get to go to different schools, salons, hair shows, and most recently I've gotten to help out at the Mineralize show. Not our fourth dimension, that was yesterday, but I actually got to be a spectator and I was blown away by everyone that was there. We get to do a lot of different things, like just training people on basic and advanced techniques. So I get to deal with everyone from students to seasoned hairdressers that have been doing hair longer than I've been alive.
Very
So
cool.
you can learn from everybody.
What would you say is like the most inspiring part of being a hairdresser? Like what do you like about it the most? Not to put you on the
Honestly?
spot or anything.
Oh, no, not with bright light and all. But I'd have to say the best thing about it is just being able to make somebody smile and say, oh my God, is that me? Pretty much like how I'm going to feel after you're done.
It's such a great thing. I mean, like, women trust their hairdressers. You know, you have such a big, important role in people's lives that it's nothing to take lightly. So what would you say to people that are looking to get into the field, into beauty, into hair? Like, what advice would you give to someone who's maybe like still in beauty school?
I would say practice, 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 and have fun. The biggest part of our job is that people love to come to us not only as a professional, but also almost as like a therapist or a friend. They look forward to those visits and it lifts them up. So enjoy what you do and it'll come through in your work.
Very, very true. Very well said too, by the way.
I try.
So I'm just taking this color on the outer corners, and if you've seen, I'm just layering it and blending it, layering it and blending it, back and forth. One thing I like to do when I'm doing eyes is I like to get a general shape in, and then I kind of like to just stop, do whatever lash work I'm going to do to see how much more the eye can handle, because we all know when you finish with mascara, it's kind of like the finishing touch. So sometimes I like to just fast forward into that and then see how much more we're going to add, take away. So we're not totally done with the eyes yet. And then they're cut to size perfectly, so we're just going to place those on right in the center and then just tuck the two corners in. Now before this glue dries, I want to make sure that I just tip this upward so that it dries opening up. Drop it in the center and then press each one. So for her bottom lashes, I'm going to take the wand, I'm just going to roll it around right here on this palette. I'm going to take our synthetic brush that I've used in a video, and I'm just going to gently kind of coat the top of this to get her bottom lashes. I'm also going to take some from her crease and I'm going to join that down into this area. So follow her crease, follow it around, and then go right into the nose contour. So that orbital bone right down into the bridge of the nose. Same on the other side. She has a really beautiful almond shape to her eyes, and because we put some shadowing in here, we don't want to make it seem off. We don't want to actually make the eyes kind of a little bit more almond. What we're actually looking to do is create that depth and that cat eye effect, but really keeping everything really precise. So balance is key. So the balance here is making sure that even though we did some, smokiness in here, we definitely need something to play in this area. Otherwise, our eyes will look kind of spaced, and we want to make sure that everything looks balanced. So it's kind of like a yin and a yang, I guess you'll say. Wherever we put one, we're going to put an opposite. So this is barely even a color, but it's putting in shadow. And then we're going to take a buffing brush, and I'm just going to smooth all that out. So I'm going to kind of go back into the skin. I have the MAC Mineralized Skinfinish. This is in dark. And I'm going to use this kind of all over just to set. It does have a really pretty, obviously because it's a mineralized finish, it will put a gorgeous kind of sheen on the skin. So the Casino was a really pretty choice for her bronzer, but I want to add something on her cheeks, just as a blush. And I'm going to do that mixing it back in with the Casino. So one tip to getting your blush just right is to kind of sneak your bronzer into it. I think it gives it a really natural, kind of in from the sun kind of look. So let's just say right here, this is a Kevyn Aucoin palette that I've put together. And let's just say, for instance, these are 4 blush shades. I would go with these 2 on her cheeks with a little bit of the Casino. And my thought process here is that I want the pop of color, but I want that natural peach that's really going to look like it's coming from within. So it's not going to be an ashy choice, it's not going to be too warm of a choice, but it's going to be that natural, if she kind of was like, a visit from someone that loved to pinch them, that's what naturally is going to come out. See what that color is. No kidding.
I was waiting for that.
Let's see what color your blush should be. So yeah, we're just.
Do you have pinchable cheeks?
So I kind of like to do one of these when I work. I'm a really big cocktailer. I don't mean heavy drinker when I say that. I mean just kind of someone that likes to blend a lot. And then tap it on the back of the hands and then kind of get it onto the cheeks. I think that gives you the most natural look. Is a MAC Lipglass. This is in pop mode. It's almost like a plum color. I'm going to show you 2 options of lips with this. So this is adding a little extra punch of color. In key places, we're going to put a little bit of a highlight. So this is Albatross, this is by NARS. So the highlight we're going to put right in the center of the nose. We're going to put it underneath her brow bone. Not all the way underneath, just right at the center. So this is our finished Danielle. I don't know if she's ready to quite see how fantastic she looks yet, but we'll definitely give her a mirror in a second. I'm going to have her look to the left, look to the right. I'm going to put her on the spot and I'm going to give her a mirror and I'm going to show her her final look.
Oh. Oh my God.
The
great. Now I've
lashes,
got a new addiction with the eyelashes.
Love the lashes. I think they totally open up her face. Gorgeous.
I love it.
Danielle, thank you so much for sitting with us. Thank you. Say hi to all of our friends here on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this.
You. And I really appreciate it. And everybody stay tuned because Tina only has greatness to come.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much, Danielle. You look amazing.
And you're amazing.
And then kind of look my direction and just give like a little smile.